Is Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader worth our time? We're about to find out. Welcome everyone to episode 244 of 1 Hour 1 Decision 1H1D. I am Chris.
And I am Tom.
And we take 60 minutes and play a random game on Xbox Game Pass to decide, well, Tom, is there enough 40k games in the world?
Yes, maybe. I mean, it's one of those franchises that surprises me with how the legs it's got.
Yeah.
It's about moving little army men around a board. How did it become all these things?
Well, you know, the corporate machine keeps its wheels turning.
Yeah.
In this case, a dark world in that. But anyway, we are talking about Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader, developed by Owlcat Games. And this game came out in December 2023, multi-platform release, PC, Mac OS, PS5, and Xbox Series consoles.
All right.
I played this on the PC, and it was 32.88 gigabytes on the PC. Tom, what about you?
Considerably larger on the Series S, 37.45 gigabytes.
Oh, wow.
5 gigs.
What are they doing?
Big difference.
What are they doing over there? Owlcat.
Yeah.
Stuffing more cats than owls, seems like.
Yeah, it's like 20% more.
Messed up. But what kind of game is this, Tom?
I put turn-based isometric RPG.
Yeah, that was a good description. I dropped the isometric. I put turn-based RPG. But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those camera over the shoulder looking down at the
Yeah, looking like a tabletop.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably not a dissimilar view from your view if you were playing this on a tabletop.
Yeah. But what about that game loop?
I put make a lot of decisions to start, then lots of dialogue trees broken up by turn-based combat.
Yeah. I wrote click through dialogue and combat to progress the story.
Yes. The ultimate objective is advancing that plot.
Yes. And plot there was.
Mm-hmm.
And let's talk about what we liked about Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader.
So far, I thought the music was epic feeling. Like, if you want to set the tone, it's important to nail your music. And I think this definitely does.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you're not familiar with the Warhammer universe, I guess there's two, right? There's the original, which is more like
fantasy.
Fantasy. And this is more futuristic, but like dark. This is kind of dark fantasy too, right?
Yeah. They're both dark fantasy. It's the difference is one has spaceships and the other one is,
right
on a planet.
Yeah, because they do still talk about, there's a hierarchy and caste systems of sort. And it's just like they just turned it to like 40k in terms of just being so vast, because you're talking about universes now, and you're talking about just the brutality of like even within like the human world, like human faction. It's just like there's so much dissent and like it's crazy. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. And like when you try to get into this, like you can't know everything about this universe.
Yeah, no way.
You just have to dive in, accept what you know, and then just learn what you can in that aspect. And that's kind of what this game does too. You kind of just dropped into this universe, and people kind of explain to you what even a rogue trader is, and like just kind of going through it. And man, you talk about the sound, you talk about the music, but I was not expecting the voice acting in this game.
Yeah.
And everything is voice acted in this game, which I thought was really cool. Really cool. And well done.
Really solid. Every major player you're getting voice acting out of them. So
yeah, it was really cool to see that, and done very well. They did not phone that in, and the stakes are set pretty quickly. You are, I guess, heir to the throne, so to speak, in this in the ship, which you get to pick, and then there's another person, so there's like you're kind of battling between They're picking who's going to be my heir, and you're just kind of thrown in, and you're like, "What's going on?" And they're like, and then things just start to happen. There
Mhm.
is a mutiny on the ship, and yeah, lots of dialogue, like you said, but also lots of combat. And I mean, I like turn-based combat, so it was cool to just kind of go through that and learn their way of doing turn-based combat too. Which there's some slight things that they throw in here and there that you have to remember, but yeah, good stuff there. And my goodness, what a intro though in terms of character customization.
Yeah.
That was there is you can pick like pre-selected characters or pre-created characters. But even after you pick those pre-created characters, you can go in and tweak them, tweak their portraits, tweak their how they look, how they sound, and and then like you could pick the type of ship that you get on.
Mhm.
It's unbelievable. I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that level of customization from this type of game. I don't know why. I was like, it is an RPG, so I was like, maybe there is, but at the same time, I'm like, like Boltgun. I was like, oh, you're just kind of like thrown in there and like,
Yeah.
you know, but whatever. I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool though.
It's
So I
it's a
don't know.
very it's a very different, in Boltgun, you're playing just a space marine,
Yes.
so it's very, like, 1 in a million, right? Like,
Yeah.
all of them are the same, not
Yeah.
true, but kinda true.
Yeah.
And then here you're playing more of, like, a hero style character where,
Hmm.
yeah, you're this character is destined for greatness, right?
Sure.
So there's a lot more, that goes into making the character.
Yeah.
Uh, um, I will step off of that because you can imagine where that lands in my opinion. But I will say, in terms of their thoroughness, what I did enjoy, very thorough explanation of the different difficulties. So there are a number of different difficulties,
Yeah.
um, but this one gives you really good detail on what you're signing up for with each
Yeah.
difficulty. It's not just this one's harder. It's like this is why it's harder.
Yeah.
Gives you really good warnings, caveats. Uh, while it does a lot of there's a lot of dialogue. When those dialogues like blocks of text come at you, they have keywords in them, and
Hmm.
then you can search those keywords. So if you don't know what a rogue trader is, it'll have that word highlighted in a different color. You can select it, and
Yeah.
then it'll go and give you a little pop up and say a rogue trader is, and give you an explanation of what
Yeah.
that is.
Yeah.
Um, so I think it's really good if you're completely unfamiliar with Warhammer and needed that background information, because it does hit you with a lot. There's a way to kind of get the information
Hmm.
that doesn't take you out of the game, or at least not very long.
Right. Yeah. And kind of circling back to your difficulty settings, I like that you could pick the one of the 3 or 4 options, but then you can even just make your own
Yep.
way of playing it. There's
Yep.
so many things, so many levers that you can pull, which I thought was very cool that they did. And yeah, I agree with you on the certain words thing because yeah, I'm not super familiar with this Warhammer universe,
Hmm.
so being able to click on a word, almost like the Amazon X-ray thing,
Hmm.
um, gives you a little bit more insight about why they're using these words in these particular sentences and stuff like that. You probably will say this in your other thoughts, but I'm going to quickly say as I like here, this game has co-op, which
Yeah.
I was surprised about. It's
Surprises
cool.
me too.
Yeah. So being able to play a tactical G is kind of cool, especially when the hijinks that probably will ensue when you're playing this game cooperatively,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Because there is friendly fire in this game. You
Hmm.
have to be aware of that. So, yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. And I think a lot of this stuff, like this story, just like I said, kind of throws you right into it.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't know if there's anything else you want to bring here in likes, or should we roll to our
Yeah,
dislikes?
well, I think the character art was
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Mm.
I think the UIs were well animated, at least to me.
Mm.
Good interface that like brings you into the setting, right? Like
Mm.
the UI matches the
The
aesthetic, right,
right.
of the world. And you're on a bridge of a ship, and instead of just you talking to these other major players, like the bridge is populated with a bunch of like rank and file dudes who are
Yeah.
doing their jobs. That they don't have much to say to you, but I appreciate that the world is populated, that they didn't just go, that those characters don't matter, so we won't put anything there. Like, right?
Yeah, and sometimes like while they don't have maybe they don't have voices, they have like blurbs that they might
Yeah.
you might walk across and they'll say they're talking to each other, which yeah, definitely makes the game feel more lived in. And
I,
that's cool.
I think something to note, right? Because are so many characters,
Yeah.
and because you're looking at character art when characters
Yes.
are talking and stuff like that, and the voice acting does a great job of
Distinction.
communicating
Yeah.
stuff, but like the writing, I think captures a lot of elements that are lacked in the animation. So it'll have like the little emotes and stuff kind of like
Mm,
built into the dialogues where it's like this person squints when they
yes.
say the thing. So it's like, ah, okay. Like I'm not seeing a 3D, character movie, but I can see the,
Right. You can
the
imagine it.
tells, you
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
imagine it. So I enjoyed that. I think the writing was really good. And the last thing that I have in my likes is that you're able to save from the menu at any time, and it also has regular auto saves, so you can absolutely stop playing. If the hour mark starts ringing and says your hour's up, you can, as long as you're not in combat, you can save the game right then and there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good stuff. And just to quickly go back to the dialogue, I liked how you could scroll up and like if you missed
Mm,
something in
yes.
the conversation and stuff like that, you can go back up and just read through that very quickly. I guess we'll kind of talk about it here. Maybe in our dislikes here. If you're ready to roll on to
Oh
that,
yeah.
let's do it.
So Chris talks about how much he enjoyed generating his character. Golly gee, I used the pre-gen options and
Yeah.
still spent 15 minutes in preparation before I started really playing the game.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I was drowning in details and I haven't even started playing.
Yeah.
After an hour, I'm like information overload for sure.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. It's a lot. A lot of stuff to go through. Very complex. Like I said, very cool that they gave you that all those options,
Oh
but
yeah.
like for me, if you're picking a pre-selected person, just give me the pre-selected person. Let's move on.
Hmm.
But it's like you could go to that pre-selected person, tweak their even tweak their name
Yep.
after the fact too. It's like,
Hmm.
well, why would I do I don't know. It was weird. It was weird, but whatever. That's how things play at Owlcat, I guess. And while you liked that there is in the dialogue, it tells you like how this person is emoting or whatever. I just thought I get it, and I like that you can kind of use your imagination because you do have the portraits. I just thought it was strange seeing the emotion, but not seeing it on the characters that are there
Hmm.
on the playing chessboard or whatever you want, like, on that isometric view. And that was like, why? Or the animations themselves were like stiff. There's like some things that
Hmm.
were like just very choppy as you're playing the game that just felt kind of meh about it. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's the engine itself, like because I know they're using the Unity engine and things like that. They throw that up there, but yeah, I it just felt limited.
I understand where you're getting from, and I don't disagree with you because what you're
Yeah.
saying is true, but I think you do have to like consider that little plastic men don't
Yeah.
emote, right?
Yeah. That's the thing.
Right? Like
You're right.
if your baseline is these little army men that have a fixed expression on them, um, and so when you're building a digital version of that, where you're going to spend your time and energy is in things like the lore,
Right.
because Warhammer, very well known, like you're buying these supplemental books because they sell tons of them. But like
Yeah.
what's in them besides the rules, right?
Right.
For whatever faction you're playing is tons and tons of backstory. So like
Hmm.
people buy these books to read them, like, and maybe never touch the little men.
Right. Yeah.
There's a lot going on in this hobby, so I think it's by design, right?
Yeah.
Is I guess what I'm trying to say.
I mean, yeah, but then why? I don't know. I guess it would be even more ridiculous if they just kind of were like the Toy Story. little green men where they don't move at all and they just kind of like hop along.
Yeah.
And that would look pretty ridiculous. But like, there are cutscenes where the characters run and they have
Sure.
certain actions and things like
Yes.
that.
Yeah, that's
So it's
true.
like it's not that they're not animating them at all. It's just they're animating them at certain points in the
Yes,
game.
yes, yes. At key story moments, not
Yes.
constantly.
Right. So there was this game does have a lot of dialogue.
Yeah.
Um, the thing I was kind of curious about was do their choices even matter in the end? So it's
Mhm.
like I don't know. It's there's just so much stuff that's happening that I'm like, all right. Hopefully this kind of comes up later, which would be cool. But I don't know. So that is it's one of the questions. It's a dislike in the sense that I don't know yet because like I didn't see it. My choices affect anything yet.
Right.
Like, it would be cool like, I feel like, especially in this tutorial section that we're in,
Mhm.
it would be cool to see that happen so that you can at least, like,
That you know that they
prime
they do.
yeah,
Right.
like, you prime the play character to be like, "Okay, your choices matter." Like, what you made this choice here. Like, Infernax, I don't know if you remember that game way back when. It was like a kinda like a Castlevania style game, but, like, there was a point where you could either fight the kill uh kill the villager that looked like they were infected or
Mm.
let them live. And that choice was right
Yes.
there. And then, like, if you don't kill them immediately, they turn into this giant demon that you have to
Right.
then kill.
Fight,
Like that was
yes.
like, boom! I knew right away these situations have like your choices do matter.
They have
And it was like in
consequence.
the first hour, right? Like so that kind
Yes,
of stuff would
yes,
be super
yes.
useful. So anyway, I digress. What else you got there, Tom?
No, I get it, and I agree with you, and that's a good, counterpoint for sure. I don't like that there's a DLC expansion and trying to be sold to me before I even start. There are actually 2 now.
Mm.
You have to agree to the licensing agreements and that sort of stuff. I just felt
That's
like
surprising
it
for
was like
well,
right?
no, it is multiplayer. It is multiplayer, so maybe that's why they need the EULA. But I was like,
R
it's an RPG. Like, why do they need a EULA
right,
for
yeah,
that?
what am I signing what am I agreeing to?
Yeah,
I don't know. I know it's a
messed up.
nitpick of stuff.
Right.
Um, while I said I enjoyed the interface, or at least the visual
Mhm.
aspects of it, there are times when you're opening up menus and this sort of stuff where they start to overlap each other. You have the tutorials, you have the
Yeah.
menus, you have the dialogue, and they're all kind of fighting for screen space. And so
Yes.
it really does feel like almost like you clicked on a somewhere on a browser that you shouldn't have been, and then you get hit with like 14 pop-ups and you're like,
Yes.
"Ah, like
Yep.
what did I do?"
Yep. I do like that there is a checkbox to be like, I'm done with these
Yeah.
pop-ups. That's nice, but I agree. Like you're just inundated with them. I was kind of curious, and I didn't know if this was gonna be one of your dislikes or not, but playing on a controller, how did that feel?
Yeah, it is clearly the kind of game you should play with the mouse and a keyboard. Like
Okay.
top-down isometric RPGs, unless you're playing like a Super Nintendo one that was built from the ground up in that time
Yeah.
where the interface is really out of your way. This is something where yeah, a mouse and a keyboard for
Did
sure.
did it play like you were using a mouse though? Or was it like
No, because I would always write that down if
yeah.
the thumbsticks as cursor thing, it bugs me, and it
Yeah.
didn't make it on my dislikes,
Okay.
so that didn't stand out, but at the same time, I definitely felt, like, encumbered trying to
Yeah.
play this on a controller.
Mm. In terms of gameplay, again, like while this is a turn-based RPG, tactical RPG, and they do try to explain everything as much. It's like sometimes you forget things, and one of the things I forgot was if you move, if you use an action point before you move, you lose your move
Yeah.
points. And
Mhm.
I was like, oh, every time. So I would like shoot. I was like, oh, now I want to try to reposition after the fact. And it's like, no, you need to move and then use your action point. So keep that in mind, folks.
Yeah.
If you,
I think I felt that I had poor direction during that
mm,
first encounter. And I
mhm.
think it resolved itself as the game continued, but,
Yeah,
like, I did feel kinda overwhelmed in that first combat encounter where, like, "What do I even do?"
agreed. And I still felt like at the end of my hour, I was still in the tutorial because of the
Yeah.
dialogue,
Mhm.
because there's so much dialogue there, so much stuff happening. Um, like I was being reintroduced to new characters and new character types. I think I got to the psyker. I got up to the point where I found a psyker and they joined my party, and like that was it. I don't know if we were how you didn't
I
get
didn't
to that.
get that
Oh,
far. No.
okay. Yikes. All right. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, for me, my final dislike is I think this is a classic example of a story that would be better told in a different medium.
Mm,
Like, I think the story is interesting, but it's just like I'm trying to play a game at the same time that I'm being slammed with plot.
yeah.
I think it relies very heavily on the player's engagement with the setting, whereas like Boltgun as a counterpoint does not. Like you
No.
don't need to know or care about Warhammer to enjoy Boltgun,
Yeah.
where obviously it's a first person shooter, so the mechanics of the shooting, right, are the point. But like I could see a world and this would play more like an XCOM
Yeah.
and it would be lighter on the plot and more on the tactics. And I think
Yeah.
it would deliver better if it did that.
Mm. Yeah. And I mean, this is one of those games where it's hard because I feel like this is maybe their opportunity to get people more involved with the lore. Like, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I think, like you said, like Warhammer got people, or rather, Bolt Gun got people really like into the universe in a subtle way, and this
Mm-hmm.
is more like here's all this book and lore that you can read now. It's like, whoa, you can be overwhelmed for sure,
Yeah,
and
and I think what's important to also remember is that we play the first hour of a game.
yes, yeah,
So, how is you as the developer, what do you want the player to take away in that first hour
yeah,
so that they keep playing the game?
right.
And so here, I probably would have focused more on the tactical mechanics of the combat and like
Mm.
teaching them that and pepper in the story as it goes.
Yeah.
Um,
Which I think they
I,
tried to, but it was like, yeah, it's a
I
lot. It's
think
a
I
lot.
think that split was not
Yeah.
in combat's favor. It
Right.
was I felt like I spent a lot of the time learning about
And let me ask you, like
Warhammer.
there is a twist that happens. I don't know if you got to the twist or like
Go ahead
twist,
and
but
I don't even
like I
remember.
mean like so one of the first characters you meet, like I guess you find out that they are also part of this bloodline, but um they're not worthy
Yes,
to do it.
yes, yes.
So and then like I said, there's a mutiny that happens.
Hmm.
And did you find out who started the mutiny?
No,
Oh, well, spoiler, it was them.
not a big
But it's like,
surprise.
well, that was the thing. I was like, okay, it didn't seem like I was not surprised by that. And
Hmm.
that was the thing. I was like, it just felt very like while the writing was very good, I just already knew where the story was going through that. But I mean, there's still a lot more plot and a lot more things to happen. I think this was just kind of more to kind of prime you for these are the kind of potentially
Yeah,
despicable people that you have to deal with at this
sure.
time. So yeah, I mean, all this stuff. Yeah, there's intrigue, there's politics and stuff like that going on in this world, and you've got to manage that. So that's that. That was a long tangent, but now let's get to our other thoughts then, Tom. How long to beat says this game takes between 63 to 102 hours to complete.
Yeah, sounds right.
It's like this is, and probably half, if not three quarters of that, is just probably going through dialogue. So
Absolutely.
this game does have Xbox Play Anywhere and cloud saves and xCloud. So there is that. You can kind of take anything that is an Xbox and play it. So kudos to them for doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what you got there, Tom?
Okay, so Warhammer 40K, as we know, is a army based game where you move these you as the player control these armies and you face off against other players controlling their armies. What you may not know is that Rogue Trader specifically
Hmm.
is a sci-fi G that uses the Warhammer 40K system.
Oh,
So it's a tabletop, right? Like not in a army tactical thing, like more
yeah.
like think Dungeons and Dragons, right?
Okay.
So in that version, each player controls a one character, right?
Oh,
Which is in a spaceship. each of these players is a member of this crew that makes
Sure.
this spaceship fly, right? So that's where the cooperative multiplayer comes in. Here is
Got it.
you kind of think about it that way, where it's like, okay, they would be a member of your crew. You know, someone has to be the Han Solo, right? Somebody has
Yeah.
to be captain of the ship, which is the rogue trader. But there are other people. There are Chewbacca's, right? There are other characters who make the ship fly.
Yeah.
So you go to Star Trek, you've got, you know, a whole
Yes.
bridge crew, right? So
Yes.
there is space combat in
Whoa.
this. Yep. Dialogue choices allegedly have a major impact on future conversation options and
Oh.
the availability of equipment.
Huh.
So while we didn't see it in our hour, they promise that it's there.
Okay.
There's also a realm building aspect of the game, I guess, that you get to later. So
Oh.
it's more than just what we
Wow.
saw in this first hour. Yeah. And as we mentioned, there are 2 DLCs available.
All right. Cool. Well, Tom, now we do
Yes.
need to find out, are we keeping this game on our respective hard drives, or are we just letting Henry Cavill take his giant arms and squeeze this out of our brains?
Well, this is a slow burn designed for 40K fans, right? I'm not in the market for that. And I think we kind of know that from the last game that we were talking about. So I'm going to pass. But I will say, I think that if you are in the mood for this,
Mm-hmm.
it's probably a really good offering. Like it's
Yeah.
probably a great way to get into 40K if you aren't a fan of 40K already. And I think if you are a fan of 40K and want to play a tactical RPG, maybe because your friends aren't around or whatever, like if you can't, it's a lot of work to put all those men together and get them on the board and play
Yes.
against people. This would definitely scratch that itch, and you wouldn't need to paint minis, and you wouldn't and you don't need other people. Like I feel like this could work really well for the right person. I'm just not that person.
Mm. Okay. That's fair. For me, this game is really cool. Like I said, the dialogue, the story, or at least the potential of the story, where it's going and stuff like that. And I like the fact that, um, the choices that you make do make impact later
Yeah.
on. That's all great to do. And I gotta say, like, of the recent 40K games, like, there's been some really good stuff out there, right? Like,
Yeah.
obviously, Boltgun, then the Space Marines 2,
Yeah.
and then the Dark Tide, Warhammer 40K
Mhm.
Dark Tide. Like this, I would say you add that to the list. This is more for the people that want this type of game, an
Yeah.
RPG,
Yes.
that you can really dive deep into this universe. I mean, maybe not even deep enough, to be perfectly honest, because of how
Mhm.
wide this universe goes and the lore and all that stuff. But um, this is definitely for someone that really wants to get that the tactics itch while learning a lot about this universe.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know if I can commit that much time into playing something like this. It's
That is
just
a
too much game.
lot of
It's
time.
too much game. Like the last large game like this that I played was Baldur's Gate 3. That took like all of my
Mhm.
summer. It took all of my summer when it came out
Yeah,
and
yeah,
played it.
yeah.
So
It's
I don't
definitely one
know.
of those.
It's one of those. It has intrigue, it has, like, that stuff, but, like, for right now, I think I'm just gonna pass. I'm gonna pass on this.
Reasonable.
So, those are our thoughts in this game. Let us know what you think, and, follow us and say hello on Blue Sky at 1H1D. Check us out on Twitter or Threads at TC1H1D, or shoot us an email at TC1H1D@gmail.com. Check out our next streams on Twitch, twitch.tv/1H1D. And hey, if you're watching this on YouTube, maybe a like or subscribe. And what's your favorite Warhammer character of the maybe thousands that there are because of all the lore? That'd be cool to know.
Or maybe
Um,
you have a recommendation on a good way to get it,
yeah.
into Warhammer.
I mean, Henry Cavill's trying to make a TV series.
There you go.
Maybe one day that'll be something to get you into the whole universe.
Yeah.
But
Defend your 40K. Tell us how to get in.
how do we get into 40K? The answer is probably is going to be you don't.
Yes.
Like,
Stay away, noob.
yeah.
Don't ruin my game.
Yeah, exactly. 1H1D is, although part of the QTB network. And if you like any great gaming content, please check it all out at quitthebill.com network.
That's it, right? We're done?
That's it, Tom. We are done with this game. But the surprising button says we need to pick another game.
Moving on along.
Moving on along to another game. And what game it is, we'll find out right now. Ooh, Mullet Mad Jack.
It's alliterative, so I'm down.
That's Mullet Mad Jack is our next game, and we will maybe say bye-bye to, well, I mean, we are definitely saying bye-bye to the Warhammer 40K universe for now. We don't know if another game might show up.
Who knows?
Who knows? But we won't until we click on it. We'll find out. But until then, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning into this episode, and we will catch you on the next one.
Thanks, everybody.